Hi, my name is Kritika Nair. I'm a junior at CAS, and my question is actually, it has two parts to it. The first part, well, you said that there are only a few number of children that are enrolled in Shanti Bhavan, and so I was wondering, one, what is your cutoff for the maximum number of children that you accept, and two, how do you determine those children, or what's your criteria to choose these children?
Good question. The maximum depends on how much money you have. Right now, the school is set up for 324 children, okay? And we only have 200 something right now. We like to get to its full capacity. I love to see, many Shanti Bhavans, keep it small, but have more Shanti Bhavans, because the moment it becomes too big, it's slightly difficult to do a good job. Okay, that's the first part of the question. And the selection process is, it's got 4 criteria. First, they have to be below the poverty line. Below the poverty line is defined as a family of 5 having something like $4 a day. Okay, $4 a day for a family of 5. So less than $1 a day per person. That's the first criteria. Secondly, we give preference to orphans and single mothers. Third, the child has to be between 3.5 and 4 years of age, because we feel that unless you get the child at a very early age, you cannot change them. So these children are brought up by us. The parents' only job is to love them and encourage them. That's all we say. Only you have one job. We will get them married ourselves. We will find the husband for the kids. We'll do everything. You just love them and take care, encourage them. That's all your job is. Come and see them every 3 months and say something nice and encourage them. Okay? That's one. And then we do not have the ability, in Shanti Bhavan at least, to care for any serious physical or mental disability. It doesn't sound good, but that's, world is not perfect. We just have to be selective. And we also do an IQ test, but it's very unscientific. I haven't figured out how to test a child who has never used a paper or a pencil, and at age 3.5, you do an IQ test. Ridiculous. We invented a methodology, but it doesn't work, really. But we do it anyway.
My name's Abiram Kumar. I'm a freshman at Stern. I spent a lot of my childhood in Bangalore. I grew up there, and so I can directly relate to when you talk about corrupt local governments. I was just wondering if you could talk about like a specific instance where you had to deal with government intervention and how you resolved it, if there was any issue where they specifically
You want to
tried
tell
to
a
stop
story
it.
about,
Yeah.
my God. Okay. I think I told you a story very quickly. I said about this electric connection, right? We had how it works is we have a farm. We wanted to start a farm, and we need to drill wells. So we went to the government and said, listen, we need the electric power to be brought to that farm area so we can connect it, so our pumps will work. He said, no problem. Government officials always tell you, no problem. You go and do the wells, drill it, start your farming, start your process. Gets you into it, okay? And he said, file an application. So we filed the application. He said, within 1 month, electric connection will be given. 1 month later, nothing has happened. So we call up. So the guy says, you never submitted the application. He said, we submitted the application. Submit it again. So we submitted it again. Now, called next week, he said, yeah, application is there, but it's at the very bottom of the pile because you are at the last one. So how do I get it up to the top? Okay, that's an exercise. So we sent somebody and bribed this guy. He moved it up a little bit, okay? He moved up a little more. And then, to cut the story down, it took 4 or 5 months for this process. Finally, they said, yes, okay, you have electricity approved. Now nothing is happening. Now, by the way, by then I have bribed so many people by then. Okay, small monies, but bribed a lot of them. Now, he says, there is no electric pole. So what do? There's electric poles sold by a private dealer. You can buy and bring it. We will put it up. So we went and bought the electric pole. So this guy then comes with a form. He said, as though he bought it. Government bought it. So in other words, they will charge that, Okay, so the pole. So I brought. Then he says there is no transformer available. So we had to buy a transformer. So we bought the transformer. Then he says there is no transport to bring him. So we send a vehicle and bring this guy, you know. And then he works for 2 hours. He said he has to go. So you had to keep on paying money every time. Is that a good enough story?
Dr. George? Yeah. My name is Anukriti. I'm from India. I was born and brought up in Bihar.
Oh, my God. Okay.
One of the most backward places in India. And if you talk about
It's improving, though.
Yes, it is. We are the second one now. And I lived and worked in Bangalore for a very long time.
Okay.
And I've been in Chennai. I've been in Delhi. So there's one thing which has been bothering me. I am from the PR department, which is the School of Continuing Education, and I have nothing to do with Reynolds Foundation, but this is one place where I came with a lot of questions, and I want to ask you one thing. I want to go back, and I want to do something, and I've been here 2 months.
Yep.
And I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of idea, and I've been trying to build a public discourse around topics, and recently I read your blog about the education system, one of them. My question is, why is that the youth hasn't been involved in it by most of the people who are in this sphere? Talking about the 250 million people who have the money, people like us. We have the money, we also have the inclination. I think there hasn't been enough effort to kind of bind them together and make them work towards this field. I mean, this is something that I think a lot
Are you talking about youth here or youth in India?
Youth back home in India.
Back home in India. See, the youth back home in India have no say. It's their parents, right? The parents decide whether, what you should do, what you should study, and you are never given a break. There is no such thing as spending time off to do any social work. You have to keep on studying, and then, you do this.
I'm specifically talking about the people who are, educated, who are
Yeah.
already in the working class force and who have an income of above 6 lakhs and they are a huge majority. So what is it?
The priorities are very different. There is no, unlike here where, our children, from a very young age, we want them to go to a hospital, do some social work during summertime. There is an idea of service, okay?
Yeah.
There is no such idea of service in India. There is an idea of education, a lot of studying, non-stop studying, competition. For 500 seats, 500,000 people apply. That you have. There's no such thing as service. Service mostly is serving God, not serving human beings. And that is done by pilgrimage or some puja, some worship, breaking a coconut or something. Okay? That's service to God. But here, people think of service to God as service to humanity. That concept is not really prevalent. I'm not saying it's totally absent. It's certainly not there yet in a big way.
Okay.
That's my personal reading.
Okay, thank you.
We have people come to Shanti Bhavan and they say, listen, you're doing such wonderful work and so on. And then they say, okay, will you make a donation? You say, no, we don't have money. And then the next thing is their daughter is getting married and the daughter's got gold ornaments from top to bottom. So what do I say?
Thank you.
Okay.